Hi, welcome to Medium Rare. Today we're going to be speaking with Lisa Miller. She's a medium, and our guest sitter is Cindy. So,
So, let me welcome you. I wanted to talk with you in particular, Cindy, a little bit about how I received my information. Usually I ask my clients, when was your last reading? Never. Okay. So what I want to do is explain very briefly a difference between a psychic and a medium. A psychic is someone who can read your energy. Usually talks a little bit about your past, your present, potential future. Okay. Sometimes they talk about personality. Sometimes they'll talk about life questions such as career, relationships, finance. A medium is someone who talks with those that have crossed over. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about ghosts or low energies, okay? So please know that today there's nothing like that's going to be in this room. There's no spookiness about this. There are people that are earthbound. Their energy is very different. The people that we're going to talk with today are truly crossed over. They are in what some people would call heaven, okay? Their energies are much different. Higher energies, their communication is a lot faster. So I've been doing this for about 6 years professionally. The way I receive my information mostly is through feelings. So empathy. I get that through my solar plexus. It's one of the chakras. And usually that means that spirit's going to start to come through with feelings. That could also include their personalities, how they were when they were here in life. I believe they do that so that you recognize them.
right.
If an example I use is if you have a grandmother, and I say I'm receiving a grandmother and she's sweet, petite, a doll baby, and your grandmother was nasty, big, mean, you would not connect to her. And I would not be able to do a reading. There would be no truth to that, and you can't make it up.
Right.
Okay? With the personalities, they often also come through with the way they were when they passed. So if they were sick, maybe with a cancer, it's something I could feel. And there's different degrees to that. Sometimes there's feelings that come through people that have crossed from a suicide or car accident. Or, unfortunately, aborted babies or abandoned babies, okay? Very sad. And I can feel that. And sometimes I get upset, so please excuse me if I start to cry if something touches me. It's very hard not to get emotionally involved.
Sure.
Okay? So that's a little bit about personalities.
Okay.
I am animated. I'll try not to be animated today. What I mean by that is sometimes they like to come through and sing a ditty. I'm not a singer, so don't ask me to sing or do a dance. So I'll do what they say, okay? Because I'm their jester today. Okay, so just know that it's them, it's not me. Often what will happen after a little bit of the feeling part will be I will start to see their faces usually. Not always, so it means I can see. What do I mean by that? Usually I start to see a little bit of the facial features, the shape of their face, maybe their eye color, hair color, the way they wear their hair. If they have a particular style of clothing, like a t-shirt and jeans, it can sound very simple, but if that's their style, that's how they're going to come through. I also see symbols. For example, if a rose comes through, I will say, I see a rose. I really need you to stay open, heart-centered, just be open-minded and open-hearted. That rose could be a flower, or it could be a name, or it could be a place, or it could be part of a phrase. You don't know right away, all the time, okay? And I have to tell you, I am already feeling something. You know, it could be nerves, but I don't think so. I really think I know what's happening already, and I want to start with it. But I want you to understand my process, so you'll see things happening, okay? And I'm not going to get all, you know, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, so please, just, it's okay. That's kind of the seeing things. The hearing is probably the most important aspect. When I hear things psychically. So please know, again, if I'm getting information and I say I hear something, you're not going to hear it out loud. There's not going to be any raps on the walls. There's nothing hokey about this. My hearing is more like a telepathic communication with spirit. The hearing part, when it first comes in, is kind of like tuning into a radio. You know, when you're going between stations and you're catching a phrase of something and you try to go back to it because you're trying to lock onto it. That's what it can start like for me.
Okay, I was going to ask you,
Yes.
do you want me to say?
Absolutely. I want you to participate with me. The more open that you are, the more receptive that you are, and we work in partnership, the better the link, the better the reading, stronger information.
Okay.
Once Spirit knows you have a link, it just unfolds from there. It's very hard for them to lower their energies. They're at a very rapid form of communication. It is telepathic. It's very fast. Ours is very slow. Okay. Sometimes with the hearing, what happens is, I'm going to give you an example of what can happen. This is where I really need you to pay attention. This is where some people, especially newbies, who've never had a reading, they miss this, and this is so important. What happens is, suppose I have a spirit named John. I don't know it's John. I hear John, and I say, I hear John. You will automatically go, who do I know that's dead,
Right.
deceased, named John? That's fine. Go through your Rolodex, think about it. What I need you to do is go beyond that, think, who do I know that's living that could be named John? Here's why. Spirit would be nice, just like we have lights above us. It would be nice if they came in, stood under the spotlight and said, hi, this is John. I'm here for Cindy. I want her to give a message to Paul. Paul's my brother, okay? Doesn't work like that. I really wish it did. It would be so much easier. So when I hear a name, I don't know if the spirit is John or Paul. I'm just going to give you what I get. They don't identify themselves all the time. When they come through, they could come through with a visual, they could come through with feelings, or they can come through with sound, with voice. I don't always know. What I find in readings is if we open it up, then nothing comes through. Sometimes what happens is the sitter's very nervous, and there's a little bit of an energy block around them. And Spirit might be trying to do a little dance to get in. Again, I can't ease your, you're worried if you're worried. And I said there's nothing bad that comes through. Anytime someone has crossed over, they have the highest intentions. They too have a desire to connect. So there may be a spirit, and I'll use this example. I once read for a woman, her husband came through, he was an alcoholic. She didn't want to talk to him. And she was pretty nasty. She says, I don't want to talk to him. And I felt bad because here's this spirit who, lowered his vibration to come through, probably to say, I'm sorry, and she would not accept the message. And that's why I ask people to come with an open heart and just accept whatever the message is. Whether you want to hear it or not, it's nothing bad. They need closure as much as we do. They want to reminisce about their beautiful memories just like we do. They often like to talk about the very simple things. Grandparents in particular like to come through and talk about their grandbabies. Maybe visiting them a day at school, watching. Sometimes spirits cross over and become spirit guides. And then they kind of stay as a protector for someone here in your family. So that's the kind of messages that would come through. Okay? What I do is right now we're just going to call in all ascended masters, angels, light beings, spirit guides, animal guides. I work with animals. Open out. Please know we do have other people in the room, so there's a good chance that information will come in for them. I don't know who's coming in. So, crew, I ask you also, if this is for you, please be honest with me and don't leave me hanging here. Because it's like pulling teeth. Like I said, they don't give me junk. And I may not be able to connect, and it's a shame you don't have some paper. If there's something you don't understand, it's okay. File it away in your memory bank. You can go home and check it later with family, friends. You may not know everything. Sometimes we talk about ancestors, and I don't know my family tree. I wouldn't expect you to. I'll just leave it at that, and we'll go from there. Okay? Pets come through too. So if you're thinking about a pet, they can come through. Dogs love to come through and say hi. Okay? So we're just going to take a quiet moment.